Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World. And welcome to a bit of a let's talk and a bit of a teaching video. This is going to be a classroom type video, a bit of an analysis of the game actually. And originally this video was going to be all about the surround pound. I was going to do a final video on it. I was going to change all these perks to legendary. I was going to do a bunch of things just trying to show you guys the absolute best setup I could possibly find with it, which by the way, it is this right here. I'm putting a double critical with a critical rating, heavy attack energy efficiency, because we do want those, heavy attacks, and energy on it, which is actually, it's not a bad weapon. It's a really good weapon. You can average yourself some pretty hard hits, anywhere between 300,000 to 500,000 damage, and there is certain setups with which you can get, I have gotten with this setup, up to 1.8 million damage, which is kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy, guys. But you know what? After doing this, after spending a lot of time today trying to figure out different hero loadouts and different setups, wait, what's on her back? Okay, I got what? She has a TV? Okay, wow. All right, this is pretty sad because I have spent so much time playing around with her today, and I had no idea she had a TV on the back of her. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. It doesn't play anything? Too bad. It should play something. It's got a phone on it too, though. A phone attached to... All right. I guess she kind of like calls back to base. Anyway, so I've spent a very long time trying different setups. By the way, this is the setup I've been using it with the most right now. It's a pretty fun setup. It's actually a pretty fun setup. It works really good. I'm averaging some really strong hits. Her necklace was kind of going crazy there for a second. I'm actually averaging some really, really good hits. Some really great damage. All in all, some rare good hits. But I gotta say, my biggest issue here right now, she's also doing a... Okay, that right there shows you they messed with the model. Look where her hand is. She's doing a hover hand on herself. Anyway. This whole thing, I was trying out, and I'll tell you right now, I did try a Luna setup. I tried a Luna setup with Blast from the Past. I messed around with these all around, and I gotta tell you, something is not working very well with this setup. With the Blast from the Past setup, she should have been hitting way, way, way harder because of that extra damage that Saurian Clouds was just naturally adding to the damage. But it wasn't there. That damage was actually not there, and that actually led me to realize that something is wrong. Actually, Blast from the Past is not properly working, which is a bug. It's obviously a bug. It's obviously a hitch in the system, which I have reported, but it did kind of let me down a little bit, which led me to the next thing that I realized. I realized, why is it that we are putting so much importance? Why is it that we are putting so much time and effort into these new weapons? And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about this right here. Description and passive perks. So for those of you who don't know, let me check you right here. Let's go check out the Dessa Blaster. Dessa Blaster is a good one. If you guys notice, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 perks, and then there is a 6th passive perk. This passive perk cannot be changed, but it will show up on the recombobulator or the reperking screen. This passive perk right here usually will tell us, an effect that the weapon will have. But there is another part. There is something else of the weapon, and that is the description. The secret little description that does some amazing... This right here can radically change a weapon because it is things that cannot be quantified over here. And I'll explain that in a second. But let's talk a little bit more about the passive perk first. So this 6th perk, or the passive perk that we call it, is usually, if you're pulling it from certain weapons, like let's say you're getting the weapon from a llama, it can change. So a lot of you guys know that right now with the boombox weapons, we have several different passive perks that we can get. For example, here my woofer has a stunning or knocking back. It can say something like eliminating an enemy will trigger the dance in this case, or hitting an enemy a certain number of times, or like the stunning and knockback. Those are the passive ones. And if we notice, like for example here on my tiger says getting 5 headshots in a row increases range weapon damage by 30% for 10 seconds. The tiger says causing affliction, get 5 headshots in a row. The Guardian's Will says after eliminating 5 enemies with this weapon within 15 seconds regenerates 25% of your shield over 3 seconds. And another one that we're going to talk about is the Candy Corn LMG. The Candy Corn LMG is one of 2 weapons, I believe, that will drop you healing items. Eliminating enemies with this weapon can spawn healing candy pickups. The other one is going to be the Coco 45, if I'm not mistaken. So as you guys can see, there are a lot of different passive perks that the Ginger Blaster. The Ginger Blaster gives you the healing gumdrops. So as you guys can see, there are a lot of passive perks in the game, but there are, for example, the description of the weapon. Let's take a look at the Desert Blaster. The Desert Blaster says explosive weapon boombox shoots a blast of sound that pierces enemies and bounces up to 5 times, dealing damage in an area with each bounce. Does not consume ammo but has low durability. So that right there gives you a huge amount of information about the weapon that can't be seen here. For example, one of the weapons that I have always loved the most, its description is the Tiger. The Tiger says precision scoped assault weapon, precision scoped military, a scoped assault rifle with high headshot damage and excellent stability, effective at all ranges but difficult to use up close. So this right here, this excellent stability thing here, you guys know, we actually do have a perk for that. You guys know that we do have a perk of what is it called? Does it have it actually? Weapon stability. Yeah, weapon stability. So we actually have a weapon stability perk. This beautiful little weapon right here doesn't need it because it says excellent stability. It is naturally already imbued with rock steady stability. I believe the other one that has that is also the typewriter. It's got a high capacity magazine and a lateral. Yeah, it's got a lateral kick, but it doesn't have a horizontal kick. I forget which other one. I think it's a typewriter that has that one. But yeah, so if you guys look at a weapon, both the 6th perk and the description, if you will, is what's going to give you, potentially, it's going to make that weapon so much better. That's why the Nocturno is better than the regular Siegebreaker. Even though it says flexible assault rifle capable of handling all types of combat scenarios, high rate of fire with solid accuracy when aiming down sights and firing in controlled bursts. The Siegebreaker says flexible. Oh, it says the same thing. It says the exact same thing. All right, I didn't know exactly. It said the exact same thing. So they're right there. If they wanted to make the Nocturno very different or give it a boost, it could say something else right here. It could the description could say something like it will pierce through enemies, or it will have the chain thing, or something like that. That right there is going to make a huge difference with a lot of weapons. What's the chain one? The chain bullet. I forget which the chain bullet weapon is. I really should know it because it is actually a founder's weapon. And actually I have all my founder's weapons tagged, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I untag them? Did I unfavorite them? I may have unfavored them, actually. Wow. Okay, so that's not good. I have too many weapons. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, I have another Coco 45 there. So like the Coco 45, it says silent pistol with projectiles that bounce off walls and pass through enemies. Right there. So that right there is going to make a huge difference in the game and in different weapons. So why am I explaining all this? Why am I saying all this? Well, a lot of people who are new to the game might not know this, and I want you to be able to look at what weapons you should work on, because there's a lot of times that, well, all the time when people come to the streams and say, hey, what's your favorite weapon? What's the best weapon? And you know what? The best weapon is whatever weapon you are going to be using, whatever weapon you want to invest your time and effort into. But I will tell you this. New weapons, newer weapons do have better 6 perks, passive perks, and they have interesting descriptions. So that's the important thing. For example, right now, all of the boombox weapons have the dance. The dancing is what makes them incredibly awesome. For example, the Woofer As wonderful as the woofer is, as wonderful as the dancing is, guess what? The Pulsar 9000 is still better. Because, look at this passive perk. Critical hits cause 7 exploding projectiles to scatter to the surrounding area. Can only occur every 3 seconds. Shotgun, retro sci-fi, mid-range energy shotgun that shoots large rings of plasma. Shots pierce enemies, and as you guys know, the Pulsar 9000 is pretty much the king of shotguns right now. It is amazing. But the staccato shadow is not so bad. For those of you who haven't seen, I did end up leaving my staccato shadow with this, with the fire rate. Making it a fire rate weapon made it absolutely amazing. For those of you who haven't seen, excuse me. For those of you who haven't seen my video, you can go check it out. I'll probably leave it at the end of this video or down below in the description. And you guys can see that just by changing that little thing, it has made the staccato shadow maybe my favorite weapon. It's amazing. The Pulsar 9000 is amazing for damage, but I'm using the staccato shadow in every single situation against all sorts of enemies, and I am absolutely in love with it. If it had a larger magazine size, you know what? I'd never use the Pulsar 9000, but it is the perfect 1-2 punch. They are perfect companions, and that's what I use them. So, again, to summarize, guys, what makes the boombox weapon so good? Well, right now, it's this right here. You love it. I love it. We love making enemies dance, and then the fact that they can't touch us, which gives us time to run back a little bit, get a little bit of get a little bit of room to be able to pull out a different weapon, change weapons, attack them again. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I love it. It's incredible. But does that mean that the boombox weapons are the best weapons in the game? No, it doesn't. That's why a lot of people, I would recommend, if you do have the gold, and you have the time to grind the gold, yeah, go ahead and get the copper surround pound. But if you don't, there's a lot of weapons in the game right now that are not 100% necessary. You guys, if you watch my videos or if you come to the streams, you know what I use. Right now, well, you know what? I'll show you guys what I use right now. In my backpack right now, yes, I do enjoy using the boom bow, but actually, I just need to recycle these because I've been using the staccato shadow so much more. I've got my pulsar that I use there. I've got a deatomizer I like. I've got the Desa Blaster. If I need, I use a duet, and I don't have a candy corn. Yes, I do have a candy corn. There's my candy corn. I don't have a zap because I keep using them. And yeah, so that's kind of my setup. This Bobcat right here and this typewriter, I believe, yes. This double fire rate and this double fire rate Bobcat, those given me by Titan. I love them. I actually have an extra typewriter that I'm actually thinking of working on, although I believe the Bobcat was better if I remember correctly. So I may actually even start using make myself a Bobcat like this one. And that will be the one I'll use. I love fire rate. Yes, you're going to use bullets like crazy, but they are extremely fun. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. That's what I wanted to talk about with you today. If you guys, like I said, if you guys want to see my setup, my final setup, I guess, for the surround pound, there it is. I'm using Power Pop Penny with actual attacks, total rocking out, hardware critical rate, battle beat, fumble, and maximum overload. Fumble's actually not bad because you can just you just walk over the what's it called? You just walk over the footballs that are on the floor. And my setup for the surround pound is right here. I'll show it to you guys one more time. That's what I ended up with. I might take it to all epic, maybe. I don't know. It's not a bad weapon. I mean, right now I've got a 52% critical rating because of the setup I'm currently using. Actually, you know what? We'll do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll change it there. And I'm probably going to leave it there, guys. That's where I'm going to leave it. I don't really think it's worth taking up any more than that. It's a fun weapon. It's a good weapon. I'm enjoying it. But you know what? It's not like a it's not like a Spectral Blade or a Founders or a Blazing Masamune that you can use with incredible results for melee. Yes, you still get to use the constructor setup, and actually for a constructor setup, it's a pretty decent weapon. But as you guys know, I still prefer my constructor setup with 8-bit demo. So There you go. Hope that explains a little bit, guys, because I have been having a lot of questions of which is the best weapon right now. And you know what? We're just got to wait and see. Season 11 will more than likely bring us yet another set of weapons. And if those, they bring a new 6th perk or a new passive perk, we never know. Next time we might be putting the enemies to sleep. Or it may free. We do have actually some freezing ones. And there's a lot of different ones you can have there. And of course, don't forget to always look at those descriptions. The descriptions can sometimes hold some very, very, very interesting things that will really be interesting. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. This has been Fortnite Save the World, talking about the weapons and basically what makes those passive perks and those descriptions so very, very interesting. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one, and I hope you guys have a great day. See ya.